About 8 years ago, a team of scientists led by Melinda Coleman realized that crayweed had disappeared from the shallow waters along the coastline of Sydney sometime in the 70s and 80s. We lost an entire underwater forest.
So we're going to introduce you now to Jennifer Turpin and Michaeli Crawford. It's their first time exhibiting in Sculpture by the Sea, and they're doing an extraordinarily ambitious sculpture called Operation Crayweed.
So last year we were invited to do a project for Sculpture by the Sea, and we decided to do a work that connected with a very interesting science project, Operation Crayweed, which I'd heard about at a conference in December. We connected with the scientists of that project and then came up with an idea that highlighted what the scientists were doing. So an artwork highlighting a science rehabilitation project.
Everybody wants to hear more about sharks, about whales, about dolphins, but getting people excited about seaweeds, it's actually a little bit harder. This is why we were so thrilled and excited when Jennifer Turpin and Michaeli Crawford first approached us with the idea of a big artwork that would make the work that is largely invisible because it happens on the water suddenly visible.
We wanted to do a project that was very much about, that was really specific to the coastal environment of Bondi. We wanted to do a project that would connect to the local community and the broader community to bring them into and inform them about the Crayweed project. We took this idea of the work of science, the literal hard work of science, diving into the ocean, planting the crayweed, and we've created an artwork that's called Operation Crayweed Artwork Site. And so it takes the bay, Bondi Bay, between Marks Park and the South Bondi headland where the crayweed is being planted, and we've sort of wrapped it, I guess, in an artwork site, which is about a half a kilometre long artwork that runs along the pedestrian fence of the famous coastal walk at Bondi.
It would have been invisible otherwise, but we want to make it visible. So we're going to make this fence.
And so we made the fence out of worksite fencing. So stuff we see, when we're in the city at a worksite.
What you see sort of around here is the result of an outreach project that we've done with community, with local schools. We made wearable costumes out of the materials for the fence that kind of invited them into thinking and imagining the return of the creatures that disappeared when the crayweed disappeared. And tomorrow we will start installing our artwork fence. It will take 6 days for us to get the whole thing in situ, as it's half a kilometre long. And then we'll have a little event to celebrate the work that the children and the community have done.
So we've arrived 2 days ago down here at Bondi on the coastal walk, and we've installed most of the mesh now. We're just finishing that off today. And then next week we've got 3 more days and we'll install the bunting in between. So there's some gaps in between here that will have the bunting, and we'll install the crab floats on the stairs. The 3 view scopes up the top will be installed next Monday or Tuesday, depending upon the weather. And the buoy was already installed previously at the beginning of the week.
On the stairs and in the gaps, we've got approximately 3,680 crab floats, about 300 metres of double rows of mesh, and then we've got about 200 metres of bunting in 5 double rows. Hopefully we've got all the right quantities of material, which we're slowly and progressively installing. We've got 7 crayweed crew members to help install
crayweeders,
crayweeders, which we've divided into crab floats, bunting and mesh teams.
And then just the last component is that the scientists who we've been working with from the Sydney Institute of Marine Science and the University of New South Wales, they'll be here on the weekends and sometimes during the week talking to people, explaining the project.
During this exhibition, myself and some wonderful volunteers are offering the public science communication in the form of podcast or films. After the public have listened to these films or podcasts, we're going to collect survey data to find out how effective that science communication was.
The kids that you see here today have been immersed in the Operation Crayweed world now for more than 3 months. The first thing they did is a whole lot of background science learning. They learned about issues of marine pollution, the importance of healthy habitats, the importance of seaweeds. And I speak on behalf of the entire Operation Crayweed team when I say that it's been extremely rewarding to work with these children. The thing about children is that they're just constantly asking questions. They have naturally the inquisitive mind that you need as a scientist. I'd like to thank Jennifer and Michaeli and Christian for believing in our science project and for helping us to make the underwater restoration project that we're working on visible to the people of Sydney and beyond. Thank you.